You land in the US, exhausted, thinking you're in the home stretch, passport scan and you're out. Then the officer looks at the screen, asks one normal question, and suddenly you hear, "Step over here, secondary inspection, no drama, just your day disappears." And the trap is this. It's usually not what you did, it's what your screen accidentally shows. This isn't TSA. TSA checks your stuff. US Customs and Border Protection checks your story, and your phone can confirm or contradict what you just said in about 30 seconds. Sometimes it's as simple as a folder named Contracts, and the whole conversation takes a left turn. So next, I'm breaking down the app categories that cause the biggest headaches at US Customs, and how to handle them fast without locking yourself out of your own life at the airport. Category 1. The biggest troublemaker at US Customs is anything cloud and sync. iCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, and all of that. A phone is normally just a device, but when it's already signed into the cloud, it turns into a master key to your whole life. And the cloud is rarely as clean as people think. It holds years of stuff. Attachments, screenshots, work docs, receipts, and even things you assumed were gone but are still sitting in trash folders. Then you connect to airport Wi-Fi, and suddenly your phone starts filling itself back up. That's when everyday files can start raising eyebrows. A folder called Contracts, screenshots of apartment listings, an invoice, a client message saved as an image. One glance, and it can sound like you're on a very different kind of trip than the one you just described. So the simple move is, don't walk up to customs with the master key sitting on your home screen. Before you travel, log out of cloud apps you don't truly need, turn off offline access, and pause autosync where you can. If you need documents for the trip, keep only the travel essentials available on the device. Booking confirmations, itinerary, maybe one folder you'd be comfortable opening in public. Cloud apps aren't bad, they're just powerful at the worst possible time. And once you tighten that up, the next category is where people accidentally make things worse, because it involves money, accounts, and one-time passwords. If an officer asked you to unlock your phone right now, what's the one screen you'd least want open? For most travelers, it's the Money app. Money screens can invite follow-up questions because CBP are trained to look for inconsistencies and certain red flags. Like, you say you're here for vacation, but your recent payments show deposits labeled project, invoice, retainer? Totally normal in real life. At a border interview, that can raise eyebrows. Crypto can do something similar. It's legal, and plenty of people own a little just for fun, but since it shows up in real investigations, having a crypto exchange app on your phone can be a tripwire. Something that nudges the conversation into, what is this account for? Territory. You might have $500 in Bitcoin from years ago. From their perspective, they don't know what it is until it's open, so they may ask more questions. So, what do you do without wrecking your trip? Don't try to erase your financial life. That's impractical, and it can backfire. The real trap is one-time password access. If you delete or reinstall too aggressively, many banking and crypto apps will log you out. Then you're stuck needing a one-time code, an email link, or an authenticator, right when you have the worst Wi-Fi on Earth. Handle it before you travel. Make sure you can sign in reliably and you have a backup way to verify. Then, keep your phone organized. Stay functional for payments, but don't make your entire financial history the first thing that opens. And now we get to private messaging apps. The ones people download for privacy, then realize they can look complicated at exactly the wrong time. A lot of people download WhatsApp or Telegram for the most normal reasons, family chats, staying in touch with friends, and yeah, memes that actually load. And 99% of the time, it's a complete non-issue. But picture this. You're tired, you're at the booth, you unlock your phone to pull up your hotel address, and a notification pops up from a friend that says, "Can't wait for the gig next week," or "When are you moving here for good?" It's obviously a joke in your world. At that moment, it can be read very differently. So with private messaging, think accident prevention. Keep your phone from volunteering more than you intended. Skip the "I'll just delete a few chats" idea and focus on the controls that actually move the needle. First, slow down the unlock. Biometrics are convenient and also a little too convenient in a high-stakes setting. If you want more deliberate control, switch to a strong passcode so the phone only opens when you choose. Second, make the lock screen boring. Turn off message previews so notifications aren't a public billboard. You still get the alert, just not the full content splashed across the screen. Do those two things, and your phone reads like what it should at customs. A travel tool, not a window into every conversation you've ever had. And if messaging can get misinterpreted, social media is even louder. Because it's not just messages. It's likes, saves, groups, and old posts resurfacing at the worst time. Social media is basically a time capsule, and it loves to pop open at the worst moment. You can walk up to US Customs as the calm, polite version of yourself, then your phone drags up the 2019 version of you who thought sarcasm was a sport. And it's not only what you posted. Likes, saves, comments, and group memberships can paint a picture you never meant to display at a passport booth. Imagine you joined a Facebook group years ago for travel deals. You barely used it. Time passes, admins change, the group gets renamed, and now it looks like you're in something political or extreme that you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. So on paper, it can read like affiliation, even when it's just internet leftovers. Same issue with old saved posts and memes. Online, tone does the heavy lifting. At the border, tone doesn't travel, only screenshots do. So for travel, make social media quiet and hard to stumble into. Log out of the apps you don't need during the arrival process, or at least move them off your home screen so they're not one accidental tap away. If you keep a travel setup, use a clean travel-only account, or a separate profile view that's basically just normal life and travel, nothing that needs a backstory. And one more thing. In the arrivals line, put social apps on mute. No buzzing, no surprise pop-ups pulling you into drama when you're just trying to get through the booth. If that feels like a lot, tell me this. What's the one app you'd hate explaining at a passport counter? Say it in the comments, like you're texting a friend. This one hits older travelers the hardest, because you're doing the responsible thing. You're trying to be prepared. So you screenshot a prescription label, a doctor's note, maybe a diagnosis summary, just in case you need care on the road. And then it all ends up in the same place as your vacation photos, your camera roll, or a file screen that opens instantly. No context. One swipe, and it looks like your phone is carrying a whole medical file right next to pictures of your grandkids. Now picture the worst timing. You're at the CBP booth, they ask where you're staying, and you unlock your phone to pull up the confirmation. Before you even find the address, a big thumbnail flashes, treatment plan, MRI, results, follow up in 6 months. Nobody has to dig. It's just front and center. Most of the time, that won't matter. It's just the kind of thing that can get misunderstood if it pops up at the wrong moment, so don't let it be the first thing visible. The simple fix is, keep essential medical info on a one-page printout in your carry-on, not your checked bag. Want a phone backup too? Keep it boring. Instead of screenshots living in your camera roll, take one clean photo of your meds list and save it as a PDF with your travel stuff, like an email draft to yourself, a note called trip info, or an attachment you send to your own inbox. That way, when you unlock your phone, your photos still look like photos. And one last thing, don't panic. Delete right before landing. That frantic cleanup is how people tap the wrong thing, lose what they actually need, and look way more nervous than they are. Quick pause before you start deleting apps at 35,000 feet like it's a hobby. First warning, deleting an app doesn't delete an account. The icon disappears, but the logins, sync, and backups can still pull your old stuff right back the second you hit airport Wi-Fi. Second warning, don't forget the bigger screens. Your phone might look clean, but your laptop or iPad can still be the real filing cabinet. Work email, contracts, PDFs, all the stuff you'd never want popping up at the wrong moment. So yes, cleanup helps, just don't do it as a last-minute scramble. In the next part, I'll show you 3 strategy levels. Pick the one that fits you, and you walk up to that booth feeling steady, not frantic. All right, now we get practical, because there isn't one perfect setup for everyone. So I think about this on 3 levels. Pick the level that matches your situation, and you stop second-guessing yourself in the arrivals line. The lightest level is what I call boring phone mode. You keep your main phone, but you slim it down on purpose. Anything that acts like a master key gets logged out or tucked away, and the only things sitting on the surface are travel basics. Hotel address, flight info, your ride app, and a couple contacts you actually need. Picture your screen showing a boarding pass and a hotel confirmation, not years of old emails and random folders. This is the sweet spot for most frequent flyers because it keeps you functional without turning your life into a tech project. But if you want more peace of mind, Level 2 changes the game because it uses a separate travel phone. You separate travel you from everything you. The travel phone has what you need to get through the trip. Maps, reservations, maybe one messaging app for family updates, and not much else. Some people even keep a backup phone powered off in the hotel safe because losing your only phone is a trip ruiner. This level is great if you've ever had your phone stolen or you just hate the idea that one lost device equals access to your whole life. And if you're extremely cautious, Level 3 is the strongest option, but it comes with a real trade-off. You save what you truly need ahead of time, then factory reset so the phone is clean by default. The key is doing it early, not a last-minute wipe. Because you can easily end up unable to log back into your bank or email if you wiped the authenticator you need to get back in. Also, this level isn't for everyone. A freshly reset device can sometimes raise its own questions, especially if it feels unusual for your travel profile. So only go this route if it genuinely fits your situation and you're comfortable with the extra friction. If you do choose it, have recovery options ready. Backup codes, or a password manager that works offline so you're not depending on 1S, MS, or a single fragile login while you're abroad. Now, a quick reality check on the "what if they ask me to unlock it" question. You can refuse, but consequences vary a lot depending on your status. US citizen, green card, visa. Don't decide at the booth. Decide at home, calmly, based on your situation. If your phone can open your whole life in one tap, US Customs is the worst place to learn that. Pick the setup level that fits you, keep the surface boring when it matters, and stay in control of when your phone opens. Now I want to hear yours. What's the one app you'd hate having to explain at a passport counter? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more practical, no drama travel guides, subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.